I get it, bro. It hurts sometimes, doesn't it? Someone says something mean behind your back, or someone comments something on social media that, you know, was very hurtful. And they don't realize it. I don't think they completely understand, the people that leave these messages, that, you know, we're human beings, bro. We got thoughts, we have feelings, we have emotions, just like everybody else. Sure, I might have more followers, or sure, someone might have this or that, or I don't know, something that makes them seem as if they're unreal, because you see them only on the digital platforms and you never see them in real life. But I assure you, we're human beings too. And if you've dealt with something like that before, I want to tell you how to be able to deal with that in several different ways. And I'm also going to tell you a little story today. So if you're anything like me, you know, you probably looked at these comments and that shit hurts, bro. That shit really does hurt. Like, you look at them, like for me, for example, my last video I posted, people are calling me a Hamza copy. For those of you who don't know who Hamza is, he's basically a self-improvement YouTuber who is much bigger than myself. And when I saw that, bro, because I was pretty excited, I was like, wow, I've never, you know, gotten this much views before. I was so excited. But, you know, you look at those views and it's like, damn, that shit stings. Like, truthfully, on the outside, if you were sitting in the passenger seat when I was reading these in my car, I would have looked unfazed to you. But deep down inside, that's how I was feeling, bro. And I'm sure you've been through this too. You know, the human brain is a very interesting thing. We tend to disregard any sort of positive feedback. Even if we get 9 out of 10 positive feedbacks, we'll look at the one negative feedback that we get and it just clouds our mind. Like today, all I've been ever told is, keep it going, bro, keep posting. You're doing good work, keep posting. But as soon as I read those comments, out of the hundreds of comments I've gotten so far, those became my focus, those became my attention. And then I realized, bro, come close, I realized what kind of man I was trying to become. What kind of things that happened in the past that I was trying to leave. Because a lot of these haters, bro, life is not going good for them, I assure you that. And you know how I know this? I might just be one testimonial, but I was one of them myself. Now, I didn't have the audacity to be a keyboard warrior and think I was tough or some shit to type this down and, you know, type it down and send it to someone, because I know it had the possibility of affecting them. But in my mind, I still was, you know, and I could not easily just not tell you that, right? I could easily not be that person and be the kind of person that was always so respectful, always so humble, so you know, so awesome to be around Shay, right? No, I had hateful thoughts all the time too, bro. Like, who does this guy think he is? Or what the fuck? Like, why is he doing that for? He looks stupid. What is he doing, bro? Like, oh, you're trying to be better, bro? Come on, bro. I was that guy too, so I know what that's like. And so when I talk to these people, when I see their comments, all I can help but feel after a while, after processing it, is sorry for them, man. Because we tend to feel sorry for ourselves, like we did something wrong. And I'll get to that a little bit later. There's a few things you can take away, but this is the first one. This is the first takeaway. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Feel sorry for the people that are shitting on you, bro. Because frankly, something's not going right in their life, and those are the very people I make these videos for. They won't like to admit this, they don't want to, but those are the very people I like to make these videos for. And that's exactly what you should do as well. You shouldn't handle this in a manner, you shouldn't be like, oh, I'm sorry, or try to justify yourself in some weird way, like, no, bro, I'm not this way, or no, bro, like, stop, like, what is this? There's a better way to deal with this. And I realize that once these comments were there, that I had the opportunity to deal with this in such a great way, such a beautiful way. And that's to invite you men that have done this exact deed of putting down these comments in my videos. Those are the men that I invite you on my self-improvement journey, and take my lessons and hopefully implement them and improve yourself, so you're not stuck at the point in life where you are. And it gets really hard to think about this, bro. And it's not easy, you know. You always want to respond with something hateful as well back, so that they feel, you know, what you feel, or what they made you feel, right? So that they feel it too. Screw you, right? But the thing is, you're just giving them the reaction that they want. That's exactly what they want. You just gotta give them no reaction. And if it happens in real life, you implement the second strategy, which is, if someone says, "Oh, you do this too much," or you're acting like this person, bro, you're not yourself, or any sort of insult, you just say it. And because what that does is, you put it into the light. You put that insult into the light, and you kind of embrace it in some sense, right? And what does that do? If you've embraced it, they can't do anything about it. They can't be like, their mind is gonna go through lag, bro. They're just gonna sit there and be like, wait, processing. Like, they're gonna be like, but you're supposed to be mad though, right? You're supposed to be mad. Like, I just insulted you, bro. No. You just embrace it, bro. I'm serious. Because they want you to disagree with them and justify yourself and do all this shit, right? No, you don't need to. Oh, you work out too much, and because in some sense, I talked about this earlier in one of my videos, they're almost imposing their sense of reality onto you, on what they think you should be, right? So we don't allow that. We just embrace whatever it is that comes our way, and that way we give it no power over us. Because when we try to justify it, we're almost trying to like win back this person that doesn't even like us anyway. And so it's like, okay, what am I doing? I'm not gonna win them back. Why am I justifying it to them? Why do I need their validation? You don't, right? So that's the second way to deal with it. Now the third way is a bit more like devious. It's more like Goggins style, all right? I think I heard, and I might be wrong about this, but Goggins was talking about how he uses his haters' voices in everything that he hears. And if you're like this, you're a lot like me too, and especially the old version of me. And this was actually the reason I got into the gym, was because of the hate. Like, I was so fueled by it that I decided to put it in the right areas at this point. And I was like, how about instead of taking it out into the world, how about I put it into something that'll give me positive returns? Negative emotion put into something positive gives me returns. Anyway, I digress, right? So I was a lot like that. Very, very hateful person, like I mentioned. So, sorry, my nose is clogged. So Goggins likes to listen to his haters while he does anything. No music, no nothing. He'll listen to his haters, and it'll fuel him, bro. It'll fucking fuel the shit out of him. Because now all he wants to do is prove these fuckers wrong, bro. He used them as fuel. If nothing else, if you can't use the previous two frameworks that I just told you about, right? Use this one. Because you don't have to, in essence, change the meaning of what it is that, I mean, technically you're not changing the meaning. I'm just saying, like, the input that you're receiving, you're not trying to, make yourself feel better about it like the two previous ways, right? Which you can obviously use those too. And I'm going to tell you, you should use all of these frameworks, all combined, whenever it is advantageous to you. Because if you use these frameworks whenever you need it, and whenever it's advantageous to you, you'll just skyrocket your progress. Oh, you're thinking about that hater in the gym, even though you've already confronted the fact that, like, you feel sorry for him? That's fine, bro. Use that as fuel. Like, simple. Isn't that so great? Like, this man just helped you get through the set. And, you know, they'll take credit for this too. They'll be like, oh yeah, I'm the reason he's getting through it. I'm the hater. But they don't realize that it's actually your way of thinking that deserves the credit for it, because you're changing your mind and formatting it in a way that allows you to use a hater as a source of motivation and fuel, rather than something that is bogging you down, right? So they'll take credit for it too. They'll take credit for this as well, for them, you know, making this video. And, you know, actually I'll give it to them, because they did give me a great opportunity to make this video. But that's another framework. Use your haters as motivation, as fuel. And then there's a final one, which I think requires a great level of awareness and mindfulness, which is very hard for me to integrate at times too. And it's the fourth framework, which is humility. Okay? And what do I mean by that? See their insults as a form of criticism. And again, they will take full ownership and think that, oh, my hate comment was actually a criticism. No, it wasn't. Don't lie to yourself. You know it. I know it. People don't know what the difference between an insult and a criticism is. An insult is, you're fat, you're skinny, you know, put on some weight or some shit, right? Constructive criticism is actually given to people who actually want it. So if you think about it, the recipient of an insult, right? Someone who's receiving the insult doesn't necessarily want that shit. Nobody ever wants it. Criticism, on the other hand, you're giving to someone who actually values your opinion and your truth and the way you see the world. So sometimes some of my homies will ask, hey, what am I doing wrong here? Or maybe it's like an exercise form, or maybe they're having troubles in some sort of their life that I've maybe had success with. So they'll be like, what should I do? And I'm very, very constructive about it. So that's what it means to give out criticism. I think it can be constructive. So this notion that you have to bully people into thinking that, you know, to get into shape or things like that, I just don't think that's true. I think that, you know, you could easily look at someone and be like, okay, instead of calling them fat and skinny, you say, okay, look, if you value, and again, they have to value it. If you value wanting to be more attractive, maybe they'll value being more confident. Do you think building a physique would help you? And if they say yes, then okay, now you understand that they do. So you'll tell them and advise them that, hey, look, how about, you know, you load your frame up, so you start going to the gym, because your frame is not as big as it could be, and you start eating more. That is constructive criticism, because it's trying to point out their flaws in the most objective way possible, not in a negative manner, and they're not necessarily being positive about it either, right? But especially not in a negative manner. And that's what these people that insult you or hate on you think they're doing. And they'll take credit for that. Even now they'll be like, oh bro, you know, that was actually constructive criticism. No, it wasn't. Not how I define it. None of the comments were even close to that. Not even close. But if you can learn to take constructive criticism out of comments that even seem like there was no hint of constructive criticism and only hatred, bro, you're going to ascend and improve beyond belief. Because to some degree, you do need these people. They will be heavily honest with you. And that's just the truth. So you must not see it as a way to get offended. You must see it as a way to improve. Take it as an opportunity to understand that it is something that you could dissect and be like, okay, maybe I could get better at this. And maybe that would get me the kind of results that I want in reality. Okay. Like, for example, they called me out for being a Hamza copy. Now let me address this, right? Whew, this tea is good. Now, first of all, I was actually very, very hurt by that, like I said, right? Because who wants to be a copy of someone? You want to be original, right? But then I realized that, you know, I actually am truly inspired by someone like Hamza. He's one of the reasons I'm here making these videos today. So why wouldn't there be aspects of him incorporated into my personality? Am I not allowed to have that? Maybe by your perspective, but by mine, if someone's been a true inspiration to me, like some of the characters that I've watched growing up, like Goku and things like that, Jordan Peterson, right? I tend to use a lot of the vocab he does. Are you not allowed to be like someone who you think is great? Because that's what I'm getting off of it. Now, admittedly, I will say that I did use a similar title and I do use a similar format. But it's because I understand that I'm playing the game. I'm not going to fake any experiences for you because I've told you how much of a loser I've been. I've told you my wins as well. I'm just going to be flat out honest. And if someone's encouraged that kind of character and behavior in me, I think that tilts the world into a little bit more of a positive direction. And if I make a similar video to him, it introduces it to my circle, which allows my circle to grow, because Hamza might not have reached everybody, right? And now I will admit I stole a lot of the title. And I didn't want to admit that, but I actually did. I got huge inspiration from one of his recent videos. You shouldn't be friends with them, bro. Of course I did. But you know what else Hamza said? Listen closely. He said he knew he'd be a trending topic. He's mentioned this in his videos quite a lot, actually. And personally, I actually don't like to copy people's content, right? But he helped me gain another sort of mentality, which was a framework that I had in one of my other videos, either adapt or either die. So one of the ways he said you could adapt, or the way I interpreted it at least, was, look, pick up a topic that's trending and you'll start to, gain more followers and viewers and people who think like you. Introduce them. Now, I don't want followers and subscribers out of nowhere. And, people might think that's fine, but I want people who are actually think like me and people who operate like I do, right? So, again, I will use whatever tools he's given me to understand the system and play the game. And he himself is like, oh yeah, use me as a, people are going to use me as a topic. And he knows he can't hate on it because he's also a trending topic. So, but the one thing I find funny about y'all, right? The fact that you say that I'm a Hamza copy indicates the fact that you've actually seen some of Hamza content, right? So if you've seen Hamza's content and you leave remarks like this below my video, then have you really learned anything? Are you really on self-improvement? He's talked about this too. I know he has a video where he willingly had people criticize him, but in no way does he say just go and shit on people. I don't think he's ever said anything like that or leave insulting comments. He's actually said that he's, he used to be like that and he's glad he's not anymore. So if you're a Hamza viewer and you're leaving comments like this, it is no fault of Hamza's, and you must take full responsibility for your actions and realize that you might actually be one of these people. And I'm here to help you for that, because I understand, I get it. But I do have to say that I'm very, very disappointed. You could watch all of his videos and you could sit down and binge them, but the fact that you haven't learned this lesson, especially you who watch Hamza's, and these aren't even normal haters. These are people, y'all are people that know Hamza. Y'all are people that know self-improvement YouTubers that are trying to do better, that preach a good word. So why is it you're under my videos commenting these remarks? That's not someone who's on self-improvement. That's not what they do. They leave constructive criticism. At least my tribe and my clan will. And that's what I encourage you to do. Every single one of you. Don't ever go under someone else's comment section and do that, because it's truly a projection of the way you live your life. And you might say, well, that is the most cliche bullshit I've ever heard. No, it's not. You just don't want to admit it to yourself. You might not have the level of awareness yet, and that is perfectly fine, because I understand. But you must learn to be honest with yourself and show a level of humility and want to have the willingness to learn. I think I've addressed 4 different frameworks and how you could address these haters. And you can use every single one of them too, all at once. Whenever it benefits and whenever it is an advantage to you, use these frameworks. That's all I got for y'all today, alright? Y'all take it easy now. Peace.